Obtuse podcast with Kyle and Jeremy. Episode 302. Kyle Fields, former indie worker, current stand-up comedian, podcaster, by God, radio broadcaster. Jeremy, bam, bam, boom, boom, wham, bam, thank you, ma'am. Iron Mike, the professor, the southern dandy, flyboy, the golden child. 10 minutes on other side of putting a ham in the smokehouse stack. Holy satellite. Also, a former indie worker, comedian, podcaster, IT man to the dang old stars, and today, once again, my co-pilot into the nostalgic ride that you're about to experience with us in the past 365 days. Ladies and gents, it's one of my favorite episodes of the year. Of course, I'm talking about the dumbest criminals of 2020. Jeremiah, what's going on?
Not much is going on, man. I'm so excited for this episode, man. I had a really good Christmas. How about you? Did you have a good Christmas?
I had a great Christmas, and I could tell you you did too, because Jeremy, and this is a big deal, and I want to go ahead and, just spoiler alert. We like to talk about big milestones for each of us here on the show. We talked about it when I got married, ladies and gentlemen. Jeremy, in the year of our Lord 2020, just hit a big milestone himself. He became the guy who won't shut up about his air fryer. Ladies and gentlemen, Jeremy Sutherland. Jeremy
Very
Sutherland,
excited,
finally.
Man. Two milestones actually this Christmas. Of course, there's the air fryer, and the other one is that my girlfriend got me a box of chocolate buttholes for Christmas.
I saw that. You sent that to me. You texted it to me. You were so excited the moment that you popped off the lid, because you are one of the few people that sexually, and I can't believe just how openly we speak of this, but you know what? It's 2020, so let's just do it. We love buttholes. I mean, we are. Like come on, what the fuck? Call a spade. Jeremy and me, we like them. And now, Amber, did she purchase these edible chocolate buttholes for you because...
Well, okay, my first thought was, wow, I cannot believe that you went and got a cast of your butthole made and then had it dipped in chocolate. No, not the case. She just ordered them from some... Because the whole time, like the weeks leading up to Christmas, she's telling me, I'm worried your Christmas is going to suck because one of my favorite gifts I got you has to come all the way from Europe and it hasn't arrived yet.
Oh my God!
So I find out that she got me a box of chocolate buttholes that came from Germany. So it was weird because, like, I opened the box and I look at them, and they are definitely made from somebody. It is a real butthole. Like you know a butthole when you see it.
Oh
like,
yeah.
I was like, oh, they just
you're talking about it like it's artificial ingredients. Like you're sitting down with a fucking chef's hat. You know what I mean? You're like that is authentic butthole.
Yeah.
So, I've had those actually, because when that product came out, they sent it to us at the radio station so we would talk about it. We did, and I remember everybody else was like, I'm not eating that. That's too weird. And meanwhile, I'm like scarfing it down at two hands at a time. It was the chocolate is really delicious, and let's be honest, it's come on.
Listen, I'm sitting here right in front of her, and I know how this thing was made. They took a plaster cast of some broad's butthole, and they used that as the master cast to make this chocolate. And I'm sitting there, and I put the whole thing in my mouth, and then it flips over in my mouth to where my tongue can feel like the grooves, the lands and grooves of the balloon knot. But I'm sitting here staring right at my girlfriend on Christmas morning.
Somebody fetch me some saltpeter. God damn, I'm going to need a bucket of water. So hold
I'm
on.
sitting here
Let's
tonguing, like I'm tonguing the magic area of this chocolate while I'm looking her in the eye, and it almost felt like I was having a three-way. It was wild.
I tell you what, I love how y'all celebrated the birth of Christ with the chocolate buttholes. That's what it's all about.
Why you gotta ruin it?
Why
you gotta ruin it?
Ruin it. I made it better for you. Now you almost just popped off. God Lord. Oh man, come on, get the fuck out of here. Well, that's amazing. So congratulations. Tell Amber that is probably the greatest gift that she will ever give you, and it's all downhill from here. I'm serious. I know she listens, Amber. You're never gonna do better than this. You know what I mean? You peaked early, kid. If you're going to be with this guy for the rest of his life, which could be as long as 4 or 5 years, let's be honest.
No, it won't be because I got an air fryer now.
That's right.
Cooking all
your
these
damn
healthy
air fryer.
foods and shit.
Yeah, no, I know. See, I swear to God, he went 3 damn minutes without talking about his fucking air fryer.
Dude, you got to get an air fryer. You have to get an air fryer.
You're like,
I've become that guy now.
You are, man. You became the fucking guy that just, became religious. You're trying to convert me.
Dude, wait. You go cook bacon in an air fryer and eat the whole fucking thing, and then you tell me you didn't have a religious experience.
What are you talking about? I fucking cook bacon like a goddamn man in a fucking plate full of grease that will go into my lungs and knock 9 fucking months out of my life, and it's okay because
you know what? You
can
could sit over there in central Illinois, okay, and get waterboarded by bacon grease all you fucking want. I'm gonna sit over here and eat healthy bacon with vegetables.
God. You're so high and mighty. Well, I will eat bacon the healthy way, the Christian way. I'm just sorry. You said waterboarded by bacon grease, and that is the best God. I would, Lord have mercy.
Way to go,
goodness.
right?
Can you imagine how good that napkin would taste after you were done?
How do you want to go? Waterboarded by bacon grease.
Good God Almighty! All right, we're gonna have to roll on because there's so much dumbassery. I'm getting a boner too, and I've had a boner for a long time now, Jeremy. Go back, by the way, check out the previous episode of the Shizzo.
They call that priapism.
Yeah, exactly. Obtuseangles.libsyn.com. There are 301 more hashtag Evergreen Man episodes just like this. That means they're not time sensitive. You can listen to Jeremy become somehow even more food pretentious as the years roll on. We're talking about pop culture. We're talking about stupid criminals this week. We also got the macabre true crime, serial killers, the dumbest criminals of 2019, 2018, and so much more at obtuseangles.libsyn.com. What do you say we just go ahead and dive balls first into this thing? You know, Jeremy, you always hear every single year at the end of the year all the dumb 911 calls that you get. Well, this one happened only a couple days ago on Christmas Day. Siblings pulling each other's leg is something that annoys parents the most. This is, of course, by TimesNowNews.com. But an unidentified woman called up the police to accuse her brother of farting on her toothbrush. Oh my goodness.
That sounds like something you do with like your siblings when you're a little kid. That sounds exactly like something that I would have done to my sisters. Like they would have pissed me off or told her, like ratted me out to my parents, and I would have farted bare-assed on their toothbrush.
Oh God. You would have done something like that. See, the bare-ass thing. You know why farting smells bad, right? Because when you smell it, back in the day before Fruit of the Loom and the BVDs and all the other underwear that Jeremy has claimed to bust out of in the past, the little bad things would come out of your butthole when you farted, and if I breathed in your fart gas, then it could make me sick, and that's why it smells bad, and your body knows that you shouldn't be around it, right? Well, we got the underwear, and it's fine, but Jeremy, that's goddamn germ warfare. That is some fucking Vietnam shit. Farting bare-assed onto your sister's toothbrush.
Yeah.
That's disgusting. Yeah. It is disgusting. Well, anyway, you said that you can see this happening if you were a little kid. I agree with you. This bitch was 18. On December 20th, an 18-year-old woman from Cleveland, Ohio, reported to the police that her brother had farted on her toothbrush. It turned out that her brother was completely innocent. According to a report in the Highland Heights police blotter, the woman was not at home. She had called from a different city in an attempt to irritate her brother. What? So she was just trying to piss off. It wasn't even true. The police warned her not to call again for frivolous issues like this. Even though the brother did not fart on her toothbrush, she has given him the perfect idea.
You know what, though? That's only a frivolous issue to someone who didn't just have their toothbrush farted upon.
Absolutely.
Because, you understand that if that guy went home, like the police officer went home that night, and his brother and came over and farted on his toothbrush while he was at work, that brother would be fucking in a jail cell.
How many times have you had somebody punch you in the face and you didn't go call the popo on them? You handled it like a man, or you learned your lesson, you moved on. Exactly. Exactly. But if someone, not forgive someone broke in your house, if someone broke in your house and farted on your toothbrush, hey, wouldn't you be way more mad about the farting on the toothbrush thing than everything else he could possibly do in your house?
Yeah, the only thing that wasn't illegal, like the farting on the toothbrush, perfectly legal. It was the premeditated burglary and the burglary act itself that would get him like 10 to 15 years in prison. But you're most upset about the fact that you just took a bunch of poop particles and rubbed them across the front of those crispy veneer.
Oh God. Oh God. You're too much of a wordsmith on this one. But let me tell you, if I found out that somebody broke in my house and farted on my toothbrush, I'm going to fucking want every goddamn detective. I'm going to want Batman on this. Do you understand? I'm like this to me is...
Get me Batman, get me Charles Bronson, get me Chuck Norris.
I want everybody who's ever played Sherlock Holmes, Benedict Cumberbatch, Lucy Liu. Yeah, that's right. I didn't even like that movie, but get that bitch in on it too. Like, that shit has got to be solved. Speaking of some shit that apparently never needed to be solved, but, Parker Brothers, Hasbro thought so. Monopoly has just released the longest game ever. Because that was the problem with Monopoly, was that it didn't take long enough.
Yeah.
Hasbro has just released the longest game ever edition. The board features 66 properties, which is 38 more than the original version. And since there's only one die now, not two, you're going to be inching around the perimeter at a snail's pace. Auctions are not allowed, but there are a couple other updates that make you move money. For instance, when you get on free parking, you actually get paid cash this time. But literally, who is asking for this?
Have you ever finished a game of... Now, be honest, have you ever finished a game? I have never finished a game of Monopoly in my entire life. I've started probably 500 games of Monopoly, but have never finished a single one.
I've finished most of them, but the thing is, we had different rules in my house. So each game took 35 minutes. I remember my dad, I swear my dad made them up as he went too. He'd be like, all right, you go to jail once for fighting. That's $5. I don't even see that shit anywhere in there. But it really was because I feel like in Monopoly, they almost have a goddamn pace to slow you down. It's like Peter Jackson directed fucking Monopoly. All right, we're going to go around one time, then we're going to talk about it for a while. It's like, just fuck, man. All right, just chill the fuck out. But no, I guess, but there are enough people out there who thought that Monopoly just wasn't taking too long. Jeremy, this is from November. As we get back into the stupid criminals. An Orange County city had a problem with drug sales in a high-density area. This is from LondonEdition.com. So the Popo decided to do a surveillance using their unmarked, old, beat-up surveillance van. And I'm taking a look at this, and this is this is comically old-looking. This van is so old-looking. To me, it screams police. Okay, you guys went way fucking overboard. You know what I mean? Mom's first date after the divorce. You're trying too hard. You just fucking dial it back a little bit. But, apparently I'm wrong, because all of a sudden the driver's window shattered. And as soon as the driver's window was broken, an arm reached inside and unlocked the door. The young thief climbed into the driver's seat, leaned forward, and started to hotwire the ignition. That's when the thief was shocked that he was abruptly grabbed from behind and hauled over the driver's seat into the back of the van. He was arrested for attempted auto theft, and the cops were forced to terminate their surveillance. I love that it is such a bad neighborhood that the surveillance vans are getting stolen automatically. That's fucking hilarious.
See, that makes sense to me, because I always thought there was some sort of subplot that was needed to make Stakeout and Another Stakeout actually worth watching, because as it stands, I want my fucking money back.
I love how you were 8 years old when those movies came out, and you're still pissed off about it. How dare you? Those movies are it's so funny, because I can't believe enough people watched that first movie to warrant a second one, but apparently they fucking did.
It's so fucking weird, right? Yeah, that many people watched a movie with Richard Dreyfuss, Emilio Estevez, and Rosie O'Donnell.
That was one of those movies that it was so uncared about that the movie channel aired them all the time. You remember because
they bought the distribution rights for $7.
I'm sure they did. Yeah. It's like, no, they got it like on the back end of a deal. Like they negotiated it with their okay, we're going to get hot dogs, but you also got to take another steak out and air it this many fucking times. No, like, because HBO would get all the best movies, and then it would trickle down. Like Showtime was like a rung beneath that, and then Cinemax got the best, pornos. But you know what I'm saying? They got like the kind of B movies, and then like Encore and the Movie Channel got like the stakeout movies and like Men at Work. Pretty much every Estevez movie in the 80s.
Fucking Men at Work. Men at Work. Dear God.
There you go. Let's move on, because I could talk about Emilio Estevez all day. Obviously, who couldn't? But it's sad. It's sad. I'm going to go ahead and read this headline to you, Jeremy. Bodybuilder who married sex doll reveals that she's tragically broken days before Christmas. I can't even, begin to understand what this man's going through. A bodybuilder who, and this is from the Daily Star, who wed his sex doll in a groundbreaking ceremony has revealed that she is tragically broken, potentially scuppering. And this is again from England. That's a great word. I'm going to start using that more. Potentially scuppering romantic plans for their first Christmas as a married couple. Yuri Tolochko from what country, Jeremy? I'll give you 3 guesses.
Russia.
Warm, but no.
Okay. Eastern Kentucky?
Hold on. You said Russia,
right,
and I said warm, and then you said Eastern Kentucky.
Yeah.
Did you ever watch Carmen Sandiego?
No.
You think that Eastern Kentucky is near Russia?
Right.
No, it's in Kazakhstan.
Kazakhstan, okay.
Yeah. Yuri Tolocho from Kazakhstan now faces a tense wait to see if she's repaired in time for the festive period with all of her bits in good working order once more. He said that a safe return would, quote, be a gift for both of them. Yuri tied the knot with Margot at a ceremony attended by dozens of guests in November. He first met her at a nightclub, and the pair were due to get married in March this year before the coronavirus pandemic threw the world into turmoil. The ceremony was delayed a second time after he was attacked during a transgender rally in the Kazakh city of Almaty. God damn it. However, the pair have now, and I'm not laughing at him being attacked at a transgender rally. I'm laughing because that honestly seems like something out of Borat. I swear to God, Sacha Baron Cohen went too far this time. This is a bit much, Sasha. I don't know what you're going for. However, the pair have finally settled into married life. Describing their relationship, Yuri told the Daily Star, quote, "In general, I began to get jealous of Marco. Many men would like to imagine the same. After the wedding, I decided to show her Let me try this again. This is still the guy. After the wedding, I decided to show her less to people. I forbade her from Instagram. I did this a long time ago. Maybe I'm being too selfish. But that's the beauty of Margot, that I can do this to her and she won't mind." Unquote.
So you think this is like a kink thing?
This is a mental illness, is what this fucking is.
Yeah. I don't know.
What do you mean you don't know? What do you mean? Okay, let me continue. On Christmas Day, January 7th in Kazakhstan, he said that he might stay at home with Margot and order steaks and sushi or have some fun with friends. In the meantime, he has to wait for her to get repaired. He said, quote, "She is broken. Now she's being repaired. She's in another city." Okay, look. Okay. All right. At first, I go, okay, I'm trying to make sense of this. Hold on. Part of me gets all of me gets the sex bot thing, right? Realistic. Yeah. I get that. We're all in agreement here, Mr. President. However, when he says, quote, "In general, I began to be jealous of Margot. Many men would like to imagine the same. After the wedding, I decided to show her less to people. I forbade her from Instagram." This is a mental illness.
I don't know, man. What you call a mental illness, I just call a kink.
For who? The bodybuilder or the sex bot? What did he mean by "I met her in a bar"? What the fuck does that mean? What do you... is this where I find out that you're like in a 6-month relationship with a sex bot? Is this where I find this out?
I'm just saying, if you found that out about me, don't be so quick to judge. That's all. I'm not saying that I've done that or that I'm currently doing that or have been dating one for, what'd you say, 8.5 months this Thursday? Is that what you said? I'm not saying that I'm doing that. I'm just saying that if you were to find out that I was, maybe don't be so judgmental.
I can't believe it took me so long to put the pieces together. It's like I'm high watching a Saw movie, and I can't believe I didn't see it until now. I've not seen Amber in years. I bring up this sex bot shit. Obviously, she is hanging from a hook, and you all are like playing. I don't know. You're playing some sort of game together.
I just can't because I feel like you're judging me. I feel like you're fucking judging me. And I got to be honest, I don't care for it, Kyle. I don't care for it.
This is great. This is going to be like Psycho, except the direct-to-VHS version. This is like the Vince Vaughn version of Psycho. Like I want to like this a lot more than I do.
Hey, you know what? That version of the movie gave us Anne Heche's butthole. So, you know.
Oh, man, that was great. God, I like that. Okay.
Bad.
All right. Yeah. Take them both, and there you have. Let's go back a little bit. This is from February this year. WOIO calls it a botched prison escape in Ohio that ended in, quote, embarrassing fashion, unquote. ABC7 calls it an epic fail, or should it be an epic fall? It was all of these things for Jessica Boomershine. Boomershine? That sounds like when in the 80s in the 80s when the Japanese developers had to come up with stereotypical American names, Boomershine, who was caught on surveillance camera determinedly trying to find her way out of a lounge-like area in the Montgomery County Jail in Dayton. Both media outlets have a clip which shows Boomershine with other inmates casually watching, standing on a kiosk seat and looking up at the ceiling. She then drags a chair over, climbs atop the kiosk monitor, and apparently removes a ceiling tile. Now, that part can't be seen on the screen, but you see her doing it. Then she hoists herself up, and her legs disappear out of view. However, it sounds like some shit out of Mission Impossible, but the ceiling apparently was not made to withstand escapes, and debris starts falling just seconds later, followed by the ceiling completely giving way, leaving her legs dangling.
So she didn't really put any sort of thought or work into this. Like, we didn't get like Clint Eastwood in Escape from Alcatraz. Like, she didn't make a little model of her head and then paint it and then cover it half up with the blanket.
Right. Yeah. No, there was
she just
never
saw
any,
the opening, was like, fuck it, I'm out of here, and just took off.
Well, it sounds like the way the scene plays out, it sounds like whenever you see like the rats, you know, in the mazes, there was like a piece of cheese, like, you know, it sounded like, you know, like she was the smart rat and she pushed it up and then climbed in and then fell like a motherfucker. I do love that her goddamn legs were dangling, though. I think that if you are found from your prison escape in some sort of comedic fashion, they should knock 5 years off your sentence. Do you know what I'm saying? Like it was 5 years, but like had her like ass been hanging out.
Like that's the guard standing there going Gucci, like he's pulled her one sock and shoe off, and he's tickling her foot and shit.
What if there was a little puppy licking her toes? Oh God, that's 20.
Adorable.
Let her out now. You know what I mean? Liven it up a little bit. That's all I'm fucking saying. Irony, Jeremy? We got a little bit of that right there. A drunk driver crashed into a drive sober sign. What more do I have to say there? He had 4 bags of marijuana and ecstasy on him. Oh, how fantastic is that? Speaking of people with the drizzugs, a man in Florida was busted with drugs, but he had a perfectly believable explanation, Jeremy. He said that these weren't his drugs. Now, you've heard that before, right? Well, he continued. Yeah. He said, man, these aren't even my pants. A stranger was walking by, and he handed me his pants. And at the time, I got no pants on me, so I put on these pants. And then you guys just so happened to catch me, and that's why I'm wearing these strangers' pants.
Are you fucking serious? That's what he said?
I'm serious. I swear to God.
If you're a police officer and a criminal says this to you, do you, like, at that point, I would just go, Oh, well, hell, you're right. My bad. And I'll just get in my car and leave. Just fine. At that point, you're just like, whatever. It's fine. Just go. I mean, if you thought
what kind of a menace is this guy going to be to society when he can't even come up with a better story than that? Literally, his story sounds like bad improv, doesn't it? Like two people who had just never took classes before.
All right, somebody quick, give me a drug and a crime, real quick. Come on.
He got arrested for some crazy reason. The police didn't believe him. He's facing drug charges. It's so sad. What about this?
It sounds like an episode of To Catch a Predator. Remember the excuses they used to give as to why they would show up at that Predator house?
Like
the dude that was like, I heard that there was an open house here and I came to look because I've been in the house market looking to buy a house.
That was a pretty gritty reboot of House Hunters, I gotta say. I was a little controversial. I mean, I watched it, don't get me wrong. I'm DVRing it. My favorite, and a lot of them used this one, and I just thought it was so funny. It's like, man, no, you understand. I was here to warn this bitch, man. I mean, I'm a stranger off the internet. Fuck it, I could be anybody. I was just in this Mike's Hard Lemonade, Mac. I was thirsty. I was
here to have sex with this teenage girl just to show her that you shouldn't have sex with grown men on the internet.
Fucking none. I don't think any of them were honest about it. I don't think any of them were like, man, I was going to fuck this chick.
There was one where like Chris Hansen was like, so tell me, what would have happened if I hadn't have been here? The guy was like, I probably would have had sex with that girl there.
By the way, another hashtag Evergreen Man episode of this show. Go back and check it out. Anyway, a guy showed up not wearing pants. As a matter of fact, he wasn't wearing anything. Oklahoma City, a 61-year-old man was going through the Taco Bell drive-thru naked. Well, they ended up filling his order anyway, hoping he would leave because they're pretty fucking chill at Taco Bell. Aren't they chill? Oh, man.
Well, it's a place that deals exclusively with either drunk or high people at 2:30 in the morning. You know what I mean? Like, you kind of got to be a little laid back at a Taco Bell. That'd be like Ted Cruz working at a fucking dispensary.
I don't know. I mean, the only time that I can remotely enjoy Ted Cruz's gay witch face is when I'm high as balls, I think. I've said it before. He looks like a gay witch with a secret. Ted, his fucking mouth looks like it's wet all the goddamn time, and I don't know why. I don't fucking know why. It looks like a prolapsed anus. Let's continue, though. Taco Bell, no, so they gave the brother his food, but he said he wouldn't leave. He wouldn't leave. You know why? He said, no, you got to give me one more taco. And they still didn't call the police on him, so they give him another taco. Then he drives around, and he comes back, and he asks for hot sauce. And he drives around, and he comes back, and he asks for napkins. This dude just wanted them to see him naked. Somebody just look at it. And oh, by the way, he did it again. And after he came back again, they called the police. That is the most laid back Taco Bell in history.
Dude, I saw a video. This guy goes into a Taco Bell with a taco that he had just gotten in the drive-thru, and he walks in. It's a big, thug-looking black dude, scary-looking dude, walks in there, and right in front of everybody standing in line, all the employees, he goes, "Hey, who the fuck made this taco?" And like all the employees stop, dude, and they're scared to death, deer in headlights. They're looking at him, and you hear one little guy in the back raise his hand and go, "I did." And he goes, "Man, this shit is delicious." And he just starts eating it and fucking leaves.
That is the most beautiful story I've ever heard in my life. Why doesn't that happen more often? You can't, everybody always bitches at the Wendy's because they forget your napkins. And maybe it's because they do every single time, but nobody ever fucking congratulates us. I did that. I told you. And when I had the goddamn jalapeno Baconator, and by the way, Wendy's, bring it the fuck back, man. I know it's not like trendy like the Szechuan sauce and all that fucking bullshit. Bring back the goddamn jalapeno Baconator. That's all I'm asking. Yeah. And I'm telling you what, this fucking Wendy's, man, I went. It was the one in Georgetown. It wasn't the one Wendy's I worked at off the interstate in the middle of town. That was the one that I worked at for 3 days. And this cockeyed woman came to me at the end of the 4th day, and she said, "I think that you need to go home and think about if this is what you really want to do with your life."
Is that what? Is that what your boss at Wendy's told you? Did you look and go, "I don't need to go home"? Like, don't you want to fucking kill yourself? Like, look, you're an adult. This is what you're doing with your life. I'm a fucking teenager. Like, what the fucking balls on that person to ask you that?
I went home and I decided that is in fact not what I wanted to do with my life. And so anyway, so that wasn't that one, the one, the old Wendy's. It was the newer Wendy's. I don't even know if they were there anymore. Anyway, my point is, I drove by that motherfucker and it was the best goddamn, oh my God. And I called them and I said, I want to let you know that this burger is the best burger I've ever had. And they were like, and I swear to God, it was like they didn't know how to take that call. Like, it was like they're just so used to being yelled at constantly all the fucking time. In probably multiple languages that they were like, okay. You know what I mean? But anyway, my point is maybe you should congratulate them a little bit more.
Yeah,
they'll have good days. They'll have good days, unlike the bad day of this guy. Poor brother. And by brother, I mean a white guy, an Irishman. He was a beekeeper turned drug dealer, and he's ruining the day that he came up with the bright idea to stash the codes to his accounts, harboring close to $60 million in Bitcoin in the aluminum cap of his fishing rod case, which, per The Guardian, vanished after Clifton Collins ended up getting arrested and sentenced to prison. The 49-year-old's descent into a life of crime and an ill-gotten fortune began around 2005 when he abandoned work as a security guard and beekeeper. Yes, this is a goddamn Batman villain. He was a beekeeper. And he was a goddamn award-winning beekeeper, by the way. He actually won awards for his crops and his honey. But he decided to turn to... This is true. He decides to turn to a life of crime, and then he begins investing all of this crime money in 2011 and 2012 into Bitcoin, because he was like, they can't take the Bitcoin away from me. And at that point, it was valued at $5 per coin. Now it's worth more than $9,700. Yeah. So you see where he got fucking rich? The motherfucker has $60 million in Bitcoin.
It's fucking, that shit's insane to me, man. I actually had a friend who, when Bitcoin had reached like one of its highest points at like $13,000 or something, he had actually wound up raking in like over 75 grand off of fucking Bitcoin, just like Bitcoin mining and shit, they call it. Like little like fractions of a fucking coin, like very, very tiny 0.0076 of a fucking, he would do it like 6 to 8 hours every single day, 3 or 4 days a week. And then after a fucking year, like it skyrockets, goes through the roof. He cashes it out for like 70, 75 grand.
I feel like a 93-year-old man when I hear these stories. Say it's a cryptocurrency, and that's not the one cryptocurrency you've heard about, it's the other one. And then you see we're theoretically trading these on the stock market, and the guy like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah.
I don't even, I'm just trying to wrap my goddamn mind around the fact that this shit exists. There's just some goddamn ethereal goddamn negative number currency, and now you're saying you're making money off of it? Like, I feel like the dumbest fucking idiot in the galaxy. Like, I can barely work a goddamn TI-83 calculator, and this motherfucker's making rich. I'm sorry. Anyway, yeah, so the guy in this story had $60 million in Bitcoin. He goes to prison, he gets out of prison, and then he finds all the, the 10 case with all the info for his Bitcoin, the only place on earth that he had that information. It's gone. That's $60 million.
Shit.
His landlord had...
It's rare. I don't want to see it often, but sometimes I like to see someone beat the system. You know what I mean? Especially, I don't know, this guy just seems sweet. He was a beekeeper, and it was like Breaking Bad, man. Like, he just decided all of a sudden one day he's going to break bad and go criminal. Like, there's just something about him. Like, you want to root for this guy, and then you feel bad, man.
He didn't know. He thought, oh, God, okay, well, my shit's in my house. Maybe when I come back, I'll get the shit. And he said that his landlord was like, no, bro, I sent it out to the landfill. And he was like, oh, my God. And then he talked to the people at the landfill, and they were like, wait a minute. And this is actually pretty similar to the conversation they had. They were like, well, did it look like this? Like, was it silver? And he goes, yes. I go, yeah, I remember it. Yeah, it's probably incinerated.
Okay, that right there, and he stopped right there, right? Like, that is a guy who doesn't know what it's like to eat a mayonnaise sandwich. Like, you and I have had ramen for dinner 6 nights in a row. Like, I would not have stopped. Absolutely. I'd have been like, well, show me the incinerator. Show me. Like, I would have been looking for the little pieces of dust to fucking glue back to, like nothing. Like, if he said, oh, it's about, if you go about 6 miles out this way and then hang a right and go 3 miles, you'll see a really tall mountain of trash. It's somewhere, like, I would have been out there head first on that motherfucker for $60 million swimming in that. Because if you find it, $60 million would buy a lot of soap to get that smell of whatever, I don't know, cartoon fucking, trash pile with fish bones and a toilet seat and an old boot, whatever's in a fucking...
Right, yeah. Because your understanding of dumps is completely from the cartoon Heathcliff the Cat. I know what you're talking about.
That's oh my God. That's exactly what I pictured, the orange cat, and I couldn't think of his fucking name. That fat orange cat with that hat on.
Heathcliff, that old wise
like an old
cracking
fish bone and a boot. And
old Garfield knockoff motherfucker. And look, and here's the thing. I know that someone's going to tweet and go, well, actually, Heathcliff was independent before. I know that. It was a joke. I'm sorry. I know. Look, no, and you know what? Look at that. We got 3 people who tweet us consistently, and I'm fucking insulting them right now. I'm like, you motherfucker, how dare you tweet me? At Funny Man Fields, I apologize. Yeah. I feel kind of low the way the guy did in this story. Man, I'm so good. July is when this story came from. I'm reading it from Newser. A Long Island criminal defendant tried faking his death to avoid a jail sentence, but the phony death certificate that his lawyer submitted had a glaring spelling error that made it a dead giveaway for fraud, prosecutors said on Tuesday. Apparently, old 25-year-old Robert Berger now faces up to 4 years in prison if convicted of the alleged scheme. That's in addition to pending sentences for early guilty pleas to charges of possession of a stolen Lexus. Oh, that is some white people shit right there. I stole my Lexus. Oh, jolly good, sir. Oh, well, anyway, and it was also attempted grand larceny of a truck. Punishment prosecutors say he was looking to avoid. Quote, it will never cease to amaze me the lengths some people will go to avoid being held accountable on criminal charges. Unquote. Nassau County District Attorney Madeline Singer. Why does that
surprise anybody? That was a very stupid statement. It never surprises me the lengths people will go to not have to spend their life in the rest of their life in jail being butt fucked by big gang member. Like, it never said.
Exactly.
It's like, what point do you just give up and go, you know what, turn my butthole into a sleeve of circus peanuts for all I care? Like, at what point are you adjourned to having a blown out rectum by a couple of fucking Aryan Brotherhood members for the rest of your miserable fucking life before you finally get up the nerve to hang yourself by a bed sheet in your fucking bunk?
Oh my God! Is this your Stephen King knockoff short story you're working on? Jesus Christ! All of that rolled off your tongue far too much, especially in your very delicious metaphor of quote turning my butthole into a sleeve of circus peanuts.
I heard that. I think I heard that somewhere. I don't remember where. I heard that.
I was gonna. Because it rolled off your tongue far too easily. I was going to say, that sounds like something that Mark Twain would have written in his Body or Tales. Like his, he would have had like a different pen name for that one, like Sam Long Dick Clemens or some shit.
I've been over it been like in a book.
Yeah, you are both of the Barnum brothers. Well, you're the third Barnum brother. You're the one. No, I always not. We'll believe that. We'll believe that.
Yeah.
All right. What the fuck? Anyway, you're right, though. Going back to the quote that angered both of us, this was the district attorney, Madeline Singas. But district attorneys aren't like Harvey Dent in Batman. They're not like these sexy, goddamn brilliant men wrestling with the duality of law. Yeah. They're the kid in the back of the class who reminded the teacher they forgot to assign their homework. Oh. That's who fucking district attorney. Yeah. I'm serious. Fuck it. I'll go ahead. I'll blast some motherfucker. What was his name? The DA out of Lexington. Nice guy, what the fuck ever. He looked like Strickland from Back to the Future. I mean, motherfucker, and he acted like that motherfucker too. And he walked around, and the reason that I'm hating on old the DA, that motherfucker hated marijuana. You could tell that he came from the generation where, marijuana led to wild piano playing. You know what I mean? Like,
well, everybody knows that. I mean, that's just common knowledge now.
But I remember, we were talking to about marijuana. And this was back when it was only legal in Colorado. And he was just, lamenting this. Oh, it better not make it here, right? And again, DA. Yeah. Jeremy, go ahead and do me a favor and Google which year murder didn't happen in Lexington, because that must have been the year that he was concerned about this. You fucking idiot! I probably don't need to be saying all this. I'm gonna be
putting him on blast.
But no, and again, he was a nice enough guy. But I remember because we asked. I remember Twitch was like, oh man, what's it like in Colorado? Are there a lot of, are there more DUIs? And he's like, oh, you wouldn't believe it,
dude. No, that motherfucker tried pot one time in college, and it lowered his inhibitions just enough for him to finally suck a dick. And he's hated himself ever since for he don't want his wife to find out. He's scared that his kids will find out that he smoked a tater one time in college and sucked a dick. That motherfucker, if a joint makes you suck a dick, then you are already going to suck a dick. I hate to tell you, District Attorney fuckface.
Well, I'm definitely bleeping a lot of that out. That is... that's who we need to go after. Yeah. Is he retired? Like,
look, man, I'm just trying to find any reason that someone hates marijuana that much. You know what I mean? Like meth and the opioid crisis and the heroin epidemic are rotting this state from the inside out. But you get those fucking potheads and their fucking ho-hos and chocolate milk the fuck out of here. Put them all, lock them all away.
So my point is that, he was a DA, and so was the person who said that in this story. So
Thank you for bringing that back around. Yeah.
But now that I told you about him and his opinions on marijuana, doesn't it make sense that the DA in this town says, quote, "It will never cease to amaze me the lengths some people will go to avoid being held accountable on criminal charges." Well, you motherfucker, really? Nah. Why would you ever break out of jail? It's so much fun. No. I don't fucking get it.
Oh man, it's like a big ass rapey slumber party. Where do I sign up? I can't wait to go there.
I just deleted the fucking story. We didn't even get to the punchline. The punchline was that his fucking death certificate didn't line up because he misspelled shit on it. Like he printed it from his yeah. I mean, if you're gonna fake your fucking death, wouldn't you go over that motherfucker with a fine-tooth comb? And don't get me wrong, if anybody can empathize with someone not paying attention, it's me. Trust me, I don't even know if I'm recording right now.
Have you ever been hired to do like 30-minute set, and that last bit you did before the closer at 26 minutes just really fucking hit? So you said, "Fuck it, I'm out. That's it," and you closed it and stopped it right there. That's basically what we just did with this story.
I think so. Yeah. I think you're right. And it actually, I think it works out very well for us because that Roadhouse episode was so goddamn long, we're running out of space. So thanks a lot for going on this journey with us, ladies and gents. We're going to be back in full force with a brand new month of fresh #evergreen man material at obtuseangles.libsyn.com. Also on Podcast Addict, Apple Podcasting, all the shit that it doesn't even exist anymore. MySpace Podcasting, probably. Yeah. I don't know. We're everywhere. Check us out. Just look at the Obtuse Angles Podcast with Kyle and Jeremy. What's that, Jeremiah?
No, I was throwing in a list of podcasting websites that are no longer around.
Here's what I want to do. Josh Freeman from the First Laugh podcast puts his shit on Pornhub. He's going to start doing that, and I think that we should. I think that I'm
probably not a bad idea.
It's not a bad. So we're going to steal his idea. First Laugh podcast.
I've already got
Don't check them out. Listen to us. No, hold on, stop. Why do you have a Pornhub account?
I post videos sometimes.
What? Whoa. That you
that's
created?
All, kids. We got to go this week. We'll see you next week.
You can't yada me on this. Do you make porn video? I mean, not that I'm ever going to look at it, but I want to know the name so I can avoid it.
Listen, man.
If I'm ever cranking one out and I see you in the mirror, I'm going to kill myself. I will blow my fucking head off.
Listen, man. It was the great philosopher Anthony Gandhi who said, be the change that you want to see in this life. You know what? I got tired of sitting around searching porn database after porn database, not being able to find the sort of things that I am into sexually. So I decided to be the change that I see in this world. And I decided to start uploading the stuff that I like.
Oh my God. You sounded like someone trying to lure me into Scientology just now. I don't know why.
Did I almost get you with that quote from Anthony Gandhi?
You did, yeah. He's a very big listener of the show. Appreciate it, Anthony Gandhi. Yeah, big fan. Yeah, Gandhi's son grew up in Brooklyn. Yeah, runs a great titty bar. Anyway, God damn it. My point is that I legit needed to know if you ever fucking upload anything to a porn website, and I'm serious because you've been with a bunch of hot broads. Yeah, obviously broads. I'm a 45-year-old truck driver, ain't I? If I'm, cranking it to some hot broad and all of a sudden, the camera pans over and I see it's you in the mirror, I will blow my brains out. I won't even know. I don't even, because it'll just, I don't know. It's
you'll blow something out. I'm sure you will blow some. Go look. That's all I'm going to say. I mean, you're going to get curious. You're going to get real curious. You're going to get on there tonight. Your girlfriend's going to be asleep. You're going to have the laptop open playing the Grab Ass Boys or whatever game it is you're fucking playing this week.
It's my favorite game. I love that game.
And then you're going to get to thinking. You're going to look around. It's real lonely. 3:00 in the morning. You've already fucking... you're hired. Fucking all you do is smoke weed and play video games, jerk off anyway. So you're going to get on there and you're going to look.
True.
You're going to search.
It'll be the first time I'll type in Jeremy Sutherland into the search bar, and it'll ask why.
Are you sure?
But we're not gonna ask you why. Subscribe to us. Add new content every single Monday in 2021, whatever goddamn year. I've lost all meaning. I'm Jimmy Stewart at the end of Vertigo at this point. I mean, I'm dying of cancer. I don't fucking know what. It's all free association. My point is that we are live. Follow us on Twitter at Obtuse Podcast. Once again, I'm at Funny Man Fields. Like the Facebook page. He's at Sutherland JB. You can also check us out on the Instagrams and every single other place in between. Next Monday, we might do another one of some of the dumbest criminals of 2020 or beyond. We're having so much fun with this one. Jeremiah, why not tell him goodbye?
Goodbye.